Hello, ladies, and happy hump day. Tis I, Aubrey Warwick. I want to welcome you guys to my empowered fitness coaching group. And gals, if you're tuning into this, I know that you're probably a part of like a dozen or 100 different Facebook groups. So thank you for tuning in and bringing my group to the forefront of your mind, because we got something special happening next week. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it's called? All right, so without further ado, I'm going to give us 5 things to focus on to beat the summer metabolic slump. This is something that I've coined a term. I have not ChatGPT'd this. I have not looked up hashtags. I have not followed other fitness influencers to get this. But we all get what I'm talking about, the summer metabolic slump. And I put that I'm just feeling human today. I am feeling human today. Did you know that that was a feeling? And it's all the way at the bottom of the emojis that you can choose. I'm like, how am I going to get everybody's attention? Oh yeah, I like this one, feeling human. So how am I feeling human? All right, so before I give you the top 5 on how to beat your summer metabolic slump, I want to confess something to you. This weekend, I had a fabulous weekend, having a festive eating on the 4th of July and going away for 2 nights with my husband at this cozy, beautiful cabin in the woods of West Virginia. And I could shame myself in what I ate and drank. It wasn't over the top, but I'll tell you what, just a little bit of that, I feel my metabolism was like, hey, Warwick, you know what? There's some things shifting. All right. And how do I know that? It's, you can feel a little, as one of my friends says, watery. I like that. Instead of saying fluffy, I like watery. You might notice your skin. I'm 45 and I'm like, wow, look at that. Don't pop the pimples, Aubrey. Maybe even despite all the sleep in the world, your sleep is not giving you enough energy. And that just goes along with the territory of being human. Gang, we're all human. You can't be a robot. So let's just stop already with the guilt and shame and just say, all right, I was being human. And I was enjoying those moments. So now we're going to be human in a different way, and we're going to focus on these top 5. And they are not what you think. And again, I'm going to pat myself on the back for exercising my smarty pants brain for not using ChatGPT. Because it's so tempting, isn't it? You guys get it. Okay. All right. So number 1, to beat the summer metabolic slump, number 1 is to identify your habits that are derailing you. Okay. So let's do that. I want you to drop that in the comments. What are some habits that you're doing right now that are derailing you? Now, I could say that, drinking alcohol for me, but let's look at it a little bit further. Like, how many times a week are you drinking alcohol? So for me, it's like I could get away with probably 2 to 4 drinks a week without me being impacted metabolically, meaning I am not like suffering with sleep. I'm not completely blowing my body composition goals. That's what I can get away with. Now, anything more than that, like i.e. this weekend, this is where I start to feel things not so great. And it takes a level of self-awareness. So I want you to identify your habits that derail you. Maybe it's like this weekend I didn't get to the gym like I usually do. We did hikes, but I gave myself a pass. I was like, listen, Aubrey, you've been pushing yourself for the last several years, training for bikini competitions. Those are facts. And my body was talking to me. I have an Oura ring, and this Oura ring will basically tell me, like, girl, freaking A, slow down, because you're going to shoot your adrenal glands to the shitter once again. So that, even though I needed that time to sleep and heal, that was like, all right, now it's time to get back to the gym. So one is identifying your habits that are derailing you. Are you consistent with your workouts? And if the answer is no, then it's like, all right, dude, let's just get consistent. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. because sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this. All right, stop. Let's stop and let's try again. Okay, number 2, I want you to identify another thing. What time of the day is your weakest in terms of willpower? So it used to be for me at night, Cookie Monster would come out at night. Okay. Most people win their mornings. Most people win their mornings where they're like, I'm so good in the morning. I'm pretty darn good at lunch. Dinner time's not bad. And then it's after dinner where the sun starts to set. We start to relax and we should just go the F to sleep. But we don't, because maybe we are scrolling on our phones. We have kids, all these things that keep us up. And now, guess what? Bye-bye willpower, because we're tapped out. We've put all the willpower in for the majority of our day. And then maybe it's like after 9:30, your patience wears thin. Your discipline is not going to reboot itself until the next day. So can you tell that's my weakest? Yeah. So what I have done actually that has helped me tremendously is to put a mechanism in place where I have educated myself enough to say, Aubrey, any food choices that you make after dinner are probably not necessary because you're going to go to bed. So I might have some happy hacks, like I might drink bone broth. I have this other stuff. It's like a beet powder. I really like it. It's called Better Beets. And it's really yummy. And I'll drink it like a hot tea. And that's all I need. That's all I need. But I want you to identify that time of the day and put it in the comments for me. I know my hungriest time of the day is like the afternoon. So that's when I would try to fight that, and I'd be like, oh, just hang on. Don't eat all these calories. And I found it myself just not feeling like I could eat a complete meal. So my biggest meal, I bumped my dinner time up significantly to where I was eating it, and now I'm much more satiated. All right, so let me know what time of the day is your weakest. The third thing that you must identify are your food rules, RULES. What are your food rules or your rules around food? The more I coach women, I start to realize, oh my gosh, that's their food rule. And we all have different rules and we might not even know it. So I want you to write them down. For example, I had this rule that I would never eat dessert or a sweet treat before I would eat my healthy meal. Dessert always comes after the meal. Your whole food meal or your dinner, I guess I really wouldn't eat dessert at lunch. So maybe my food rule was very specific. I would only eat dessert after dinner, nothing before. Until I started to observe some of my friends, like they're like, hey, do you want to get like some of these peanut butter balls for an appetizer? I'm like, isn't that kind of a dessert? Oh gosh, it scared me. And, or I would see like somebody like eating a cookie and then they would order their lunch. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I would never do that. But they don't have those food rules, or they're at a party and they eat the sweets first and then the savory second. I'm like, okay, so those could be some food rules or that I have. Other food rules could be, for me, I know growing up, like when I turned 21, I just didn't think alcohol calories counted. Yeah, it was a lie I told myself. Other food rules could be, if I eat pizza, I am going to gain weight. Those used to be my food rules. Yeah, I would not eat pizza. Those were all these rules that I have in my head. So what are some rules that you have? Maybe the rules are like, I have to eat a ton of fruits and vegetables every day. And then lo and behold, you're super gassy and your stomach doesn't feel good. Maybe it's some food rules of like, I have to eat breakfast no matter what. Maybe it's food rules of, I can't eat breakfast no matter what. So I want you to identify those rules. Are those rules, and where are they coming from? So where are those rules coming from? And there's no right or wrong, but you do have to put pen to paper and get it out of your smarty pants head. You feel me? Don't be half butt in this. Put your whole butt into it. Okay. So I just shared with you some of my food rules. What are yours? Number 4, identify the one thing. This is powerful. Identify the one thing that you believe you will never be able to change about yourself, but you secretly want to. What is that? What is the one thing that you believe deep down in your core? Maybe it's like really hard to admit that you think you'll never change about yourself. I'll share with you mine. So there was a time in my life where I thought, let's just do physical, because most people are in this group for physical fitness. I always told myself, like, Aubrey, you're never gonna have a 6-pack. People are just born that way. So I believed that fully. The other thing that I would tell myself, these things like, well, I will never be this such and such a good dancer because I wasn't born that way. I always thought that people were born this way. There's truth to that, right? There's truth that I am never going to be a foot model. Guys, I have bunions and hammer toes, and it's not just from dancing. My mom has it too, and she's not a dancer. So I could get surgery, but my feet don't hurt, right? I could get surgery and change that. Or I could start an OnlyFans page for my gnarly dancer feet. I could do that. I couldn't be like a mainstream foot model, but I could totally do OnlyFans. So I don't know where I was going with that. Let's just do a boop redo. But I guess the point is like, you know, the thing that you believe about yourself that is probably a bold-faced lie. For example, better example. Yesterday I was talking to a friend's husband, and he was commenting on how fit he used to be in his 30s. He's like 40. I'm older than him. He's like, yeah, but I'll never be like that again. It's just unrealistic. And I'm like, but no, it's not. And I've seen it happen time and time again. Maybe you're struggling with because you've never, ever seen yourself fit or thin or 6-pack or blah, blah, blah. This is the hardest belief to change. Easy example. I was not born a millionaire. I was not born into a millionaire family. I was not born to believe that I could make 1 million or $1 billion. My rules around money became my rules because of what my parents' rules are and were. So I lived through a lens the majority of my life thinking that money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are lucky or born into it. What else did my parents share with me? That you have to work your ass off to make $1, and that a salary job is the way to go because it's safe. So those were their beliefs that they taught me. And then you get older and you thought, well, there's other ways to do this. Why did they tell me that? Because maybe they passed those rules down because that's what they saw from their parents. These are hard rules to break. So now we've gotten perhaps to that one thing that you believe you'll never change. How do you break that rule? I'm going to tell you flat out. You gonna need some help. How do I know it? Because the rules that I had around money, I tried all the things before actually getting a business coach. Maybe your rules about fitness, nutrition, your body, You've never had a coach before. Maybe you've done some group programs. I've done group business programs with Tony Robbins. I took all the Tony Robbins stuff. But I'm like, what's going to take work? Until finally, my husband saw that I was struggling. And that's when we hired business coaches. Now, you can still not follow the coach's advice, right? But when it's a one-on-one, it's a lot harder to run from. Okay. So I'm looking forward to your comments, guys. I'm going to share with you number 5 in a second. Let's recap for those of you gals who are just joining us. So the things that you got to write down today in order to beat your summer metabolic slump. Guess what? I did not say one thing about how to change your diet. I didn't say one thing about a supplement, sleep, working out. I didn't. Because you can't even go there until you identify and shine a light on these 4 things. 1, identify your habits that are derailing you. Write those down. Number 2, identify the time of the day that you consider your weakest moment. Number 3, identify your food rules and where they came from. And number 4, the hardest one of all, identify the one thing that you believe you'll never change about yourself or about your life. Now, how do we fix all this? It's with number 5. And here's where it comes in, the plug for P10. Perfect 10 or P10. Even if you've done Perfect 10 with me before, do it again. Invite a friend. I changed the program up. I perfected the program from not this challenge, but the challenge prior. And I will continue to do that when I deem fit. This is a group program. It is not meant to be one-on-one. However, guess what? If you sign up for next week's free coaching, you're going to get a big, healthy dose of how I coach people from my lens. And I'm not everybody's girl. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have hundreds and hundreds of one-on-one clients. There's one of me. And there's one of you. And that's important to me, that I lock arms with people who I want to date and you want to date me, right? We want to have a good relationship, not like, oh God, here comes a text from Aubrey. I don't want to respond to her, right? And vice versa. Like, I like my clients when they text me. I'm like, oh yes, I'm hearing from them. Okay. So when you sign up for Perfect 10 for next week, play full out. You got to register for it. Drop in the comments, register if you didn't get that link. Don't block me from the emails that you're getting. Open my damn emails and sign up. And then in a couple days, you're going to get the copy of Perfect 10. And it's a 10-day program. It is self-led. You can do it anytime. But this time is really nice because we can do it as a collective. We can gather energy. Now, Rome was not built in 10 days. Habits can be shifted dramatically. And I've seen it with my Perfect 10. The average weight loss has been 5 to 6 pounds in 10 days. You can keep it off, right? It's that nice jump start for the summer. I know I'm ready to just kind of like clean up for 10 days big time, right? So we're going to take out those things that just aren't necessary. And you're going to see a huge difference on how we're going to not only identify what needs to be done, and then we're going to start to bring up solutions for you in Perfect 10. All right, ladies, thank you for tuning in. I hope that this Wellness Wednesday chat serves you really, really well. I really do. And guys, did you know I rarely wear black? I rarely wear black because I had my color's done. But I'm wearing this t-shirt because, very exciting thing, next time you go to your grocery store, should be this week, check out where they have the free city paper, and there's a magazine called The City Scene. It's now bigger than the city paper. Or if you're at the airport, or if you're at your gym, and some gyms they have this, but check out the City Scene magazine. It's a fun magazine you can read, get recipes, get workouts, get the latest and greatest of what's going on in the Pittsburgh area. But I'm really flattered and honored to be on the very cover of this magazine for the summer. And the City Scene magazine has decided to feature my Perfect 10. If you find a copy of this magazine, it would mean the world to me for you to say, hey, tag me in it, take a selfie with it, and you have that document to go through to do the program. So it's pretty cool. If you are on the socials, follow the City Scene, and just you'll be caught up to date with all the cool things going on. It's not just fitness, it's food, it's lifestyle, it's glamour, it's a little bit of everything. So, all right, guys. I tell this to my Envision clients all the time. I believe in you. And I'm here to help you believe in yourself just 1 ounce more. See you on the 15th. Make sure you get registered. Bye.